let me tell you something. Very important. Every single one of us has what I would like to call a crossroads at life. And when you meet that particular time, when you come at the crossroads, you must make the right, not decision, decisions. There's going to be more than one decision that you're going to have to make right. You see, a lot of people get to this crossroads of life because when you look back, we're all young. We're messing about. Most of us anyway. And then you come to this crossroads. You start to have conversations in your head about how things are going to go, which way you're going to go, how things are going to pan out. And chosen ones, when you come to this crossroad, you must make the right decisions. It is a must. Because if you don't, you're going to choose the path to darkness. You're going to choose the drugs, the alcohol, the strippers, the 304s, the degenerates. You're going to hang out with bad people. You're going to be around bad people. You're not going to have standards. You don't have a standard. You're just a bum. You will hang out with bums. You will do bum ass shit. So when you come to this crossroads, you have to choose the light. And the light oftentimes is not going to be just all this beautiful light. To get to the real light, you have to go through the darkness. But you can't just choose the darkness and accept it, because that is what people do. They choose that, they accept it. You can't accept it. You have to work yourself out of the dark. No one's born in the light. We are born in complete and utterly darkness. Look at where we come from, bruh. You think it's light in there? You think we got a fucking flashlight in the womb? No, we don't. And when we come out of that place, what do we come into? The light. You're going to come to another crossroads in your life where you truly have to make the right decisions. It's almost like being reborn all over again. And guys, I don't even know how I'm coming up with this topic in such a good way. The Holy Spirit must be here. I don't even know how I'm thinking of this analogy, but it's damn good. And I'm telling you, bro, this is how it goes. This is how it goes. When people have to get reborn all again, I think what holds people back the most is not allowing themselves to be reborn. They get held back in the past. They've grown to an extent up to 17, 18, 19, 20-ish. And then they completely and utterly stop. Nothing else happens. They meet the crossroads and they don't go down the right path. It's almost like they stay there. So they're going to get older and they're not going to change. Nothing changes. You have to choose the light and you have to change. You have to. You must choose a light. You must find the light. It's very, very important. It's the only way. If you do not do this, you will get left behind. If you do not do this, you will suffer internally until you're dead. And then you get the people saying things like, oh, why would I try? Why would I get better? I'm just going to live my life while I'm still here. Blah, 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 blah. You know what I'm going to do? I'm not just going to live my life. I'm going to live my best damn life while I'm still here. And that has requirements. We're not given this best life. You're going to have to work for it. You're going to have to work yourself out of the dark into the light. Just like you left the womb to come into the light, you have to do the same damn thing. But what are you willing to do? Are you willing to get stuck and trapped into the person you grew into, let's say, from when you were born up till your later teens, early 20s? Because that's where you're going to hit a crossroad. That's where you and God are going to have conversations in your own head about certain things. And I remember being 19, bro. On my 19th birthday, I remember it like it was yesterday. I was in the car driving by myself. I was with people earlier that day, but it come up to the evening. It wasn't dark yet, but it was about summertime as well. And in the summertime, it gets dark at 8:30 p.m. It was probably about 5:30, 6 o'clock. So it was still fairly bright. But I just remember being alone at that time in my vehicle driving, looking around, looking at my surroundings, looking outside, looking at a house that I used to go to all the time with the boys. And I just felt like a big change was coming. I genuinely felt like a massive change was on its way. And ever since that day, I no longer followed. Because before then, all I was doing was following. Oh, well, let's go to this person's house and let's do all this with these guys, and this is what we're going to look forward to. We're going to meet up with each other and we're going to go do these things. And I stopped doing that literally the day I turned 19. I don't know what it was. I just started going my own way, and it got to a point where I became more and more strict. At this time, I would still go to the boys' house here and there, but I was living to go there. Like, at this time, that was like everything. Nothing else mattered. It was going to the boys' place, smoking a bit of weed, chilling, having these little parties, getting girls over, whatever. That's what it was all about, partying, all this bullshit. So I started to get super strict at this time. I started going to the gym by myself. I started having this daily routine by myself. And by doing that, I felt a lot different from these guys. Every day that went by, I felt more and more detached from these people. Because I was living for myself. I was doing things by myself, for myself. And none of these people were doing that. All these people are codependent. All these people are dependent on you. So when you start to get confidence within yourself, shit starts to get weird around people who have no confidence in themselves at all. They make no decisions for themselves at all. So as every day went by, it was a day closer for me never returning. And it's what happened. I veered off eventually. Even left some of my shit at this house. And I was on my new path. That was a big crossroads. And a lot of people don't have the balls, the guts, the nerve to do that. Because they don't want to feel alone. They don't want to do things by themselves. Oh my God. That's what I was able to do. Not many people can do that. They want to stick with their childhood friends. They don't want to actually grow up. I made the choice and the decision to grow up. Because I genuinely felt in my heart it was the right thing to do. I genuinely felt that. So strong that I can't even put it into words. And I always did the things in life that felt like the right thing to do. Even in high school at the time, I genuinely felt like partying at that time was the right thing to do. Things can change very, very, very fast, guys. I regret none of my past. I'm glad I went to every party, important party that I've went to. It was a blast. But you have to move on, and I think that's where people struggle in life. They get into their 20s, they don't want to move on from that stage. There's a new phase of life. There's a new rebirth at certain points in your life, at these crossroads. And a lot of people have a hard time making the right decisions because it's a big change. And they don't want to change. But that's all part of life. If you don't change, nothing else will. So you must change. If you don't, you will regret it. Years will go by, 5 years, 10 years will go by, and you'll be more fucked up in the head than you'll ever imagine. Do you know how many people's lives went that way? And they're dealing with little fucked up shit in their mind all the time because they've never faced what they should have, and they still continue to this day to not face it. You can't let that happen. You have to do something that's different. Something has to be different, something has to change. You have to make that change. You can't fuck that up. You have to go all out. Literally. Nothing held me back when I was 19 years old from me going all the fuck out. I blew past everybody, bro. And I wasn't sorry, I wasn't ashamed, nothing. I lost friends, I developed haters. Cool story, bro. Hate all you want. I'm going to continue to do the right thing in life. And when you do the right thing in life, you're going to get a lot of haters because a lot of people are lousy little fucks. And when you're not, they're going to hate. When you get tremendous, tremendous results and you progress in life, you're going to get haters. They don't like it. You can make progress like they can't. They don't like it. They hate you for it. Because they're not mature the way you are. They think they know all this, bro. They're complete idiots. They're complete idiot bums, is what they are. They have no respect for you. Even though you've earned it. You'll be respected by OGs. You'll be respected by other successful people. These clowns ain't gonna respect you. They don't respect themselves. They don't. Their morals, integrity, everything you can think is gone. You can't even look at these fools, bro. You can't. You're much different. You had a much different path, you had a much different life. How far ahead you are completely blows them out of the water, and they know this internally. They don't want to admit it, but they know it. They don't want to admit this. There's a lot of things they don't want to admit. There's a lot of things they don't want to say. You see the difference? You don't keep things all in. You explode. You go to the light. They hold on to their demons. They hold on to the darkness. They hold on to this. They hold on to that. There's so many things they don't want to face. Because they don't believe that. They think they can just live a get up every morning, have breakfast, go to your job type of life, and everything's going to be fine. It's not going to be fine. You're really not facing anything. That is bare minimum. You're doing bare minimum. And then you decide on all your spare time, your free time, to party, to drink, to go berserk. All while your life passes by, your potential is diminished. You've really done nothing. You've done you've done just enough to survive. And nothing else. All your free time went to shit. And that is the difference between you and them. That is why you get haters. Because you have faced things, you have spent your time very wisely compared to how they have. At that crossroads, you went the right way. They went the wrong freaking direction, bro. And you know what's sad? They were even better than they were, let's say, at 20 than in their later 20s. Because they didn't take the right path. They were literally better versions of themselves when they were younger than they are right now. That's how messed up some people are, bro. Because if you're just doing drugs, if you're doing this, if you're doing that, if you're doing a bunch of crazy shit all the time, bro, you're frying yourself. You're completely frying yourself. You were better when you were younger. Some of these people were better than they were when they were freaking teenagers, bro. I remember it. I remember how they used to be. They weren't bad. They had unlimited potential. And then all of a sudden, they get older. They use their time very poorly. They made very poor decisions. They don't want to take accountability for that. They don't want to play catch up. They just continue fucking up. And these are the cold hard facts. They don't want to face it. Just like they didn't want to face the right crossroads when it was time. They decided to sell out. They decided to not self-develop. And look what happens to these people. By the time they're 35, 40, they look 80 years old. Maybe not quite 80. But they look older than they are. And you know what happens to you when you self-develop? Let's say you get to 35, 40, you will look 25, 30. You will look 10 years younger than you actually are because you did the work. You didn't ruin yourself. You took the right path. You worked hard. You stayed disciplined. These are huge, huge, huge things, guys. Huge. So chosen ones, if you're truly chosen, you will truly make the right choices and decisions. You cannot call yourself chosen if you did not take the right path in life. Ultimately, you are not chosen. Ultimately, you are not. Look at what you've done. When you get to that crossroads, you make the right damn decision. If you can't even do that, forget about being the chosen one, bro. You must make the right decision. And you must do it as fast as humanly possible. That's it for now.